There's nothing like going out in nature and getting some fresh air on a lovely hike. It doesn't matter what your idea of a hike is, whether it's a leisurely walk along the coast of Australia or ascending to the most elevated peak on Earth, we have got you covered. Because in today's video, we'll be revealing 6 of the best hikes in the world. So, without further ado, let's hop right in. First up, Everest Base Camp Trek, Nepal. This base camp is recognized as one of the best treks in the world. The Everest Base Camp gives you a peek of the most elevated summit on Earth. Up and down are probably the best words to describe the Everest Base Camp hike. This one-way 60-kilometer trail literally ascends to a mountain ridge and then settles down to a river. From there, it climbs another mountain peak as it makes its way to base camp. The hike takes 10 to 12 days on average, but if the weather is unstable, it may take you 14 days to reach the high base camp. The Everest Base Camp will require you to travel 5,200 meters or 17,500 feet. That said, most of the walking is covered between the 3,000 to the 4,000 meter range. The air up there is light, and because of this, any work or labor seems twice as hard. A word of advice for our viewers: don't get disheartened if you don't get to see Mount Everest peak from your base camp even after traveling up to 5,000 meters, because most of the time, the weather stays cloudy and foggy for days. You will, however, get to see it from different points on the trail when the other gigantic mountains are not in the way. The best time to go on a hike to this magnificent base camp is between mid-March to June, when temperatures are mild and average and the skies are dark blue. By hiking to this base camp, you'll not only get to see the magnificent mountains covered in snow, but you'll also get to learn about the Sherpa people and visit ancient Tami monasteries and Tingboche. A history class combined with hiking seems like a pretty good combination, don't you agree? There are also plenty of other highlights along the way, which include the Everest View Hotel, the highest hotel in the world, the Tingboche Monastery, and the Namche Bazaar. Facilities along the trail are basic but are readily available and comfortable. The route to the base camp is a well-trodden path, and if you prefer, you can feasibly find your way on your own. And along the hike, you'll come along many locals with interesting stories. And just in case you're short of clothes, many of them also have warm attire to sell. Next up, Cinque Terre Hike, Italy. This hike is regarded as one of the most ravishing hikes in all of Italy. The Cinque Terre trek is an easy daylight hike that is stretched between the rugged seashore mountains and local villages. Trekking along this route with the sparkling blue waters of the Mediterranean Sea beneath will be a sight you will cherish for a lifetime. Once you get to see this breathtaking view, you will forget the hurdles you've endured along the way. The most suitable way to stroll the Cinque Terre hike is to commence at Monte Rosso and end at Rio Maggiore. A word of advice from us: you should take your time with the hiking and don't rush anything, but you should definitely make a stop for mid-morning biscotti and cappuccino. Afterward, you should pursue your routine hike with a bit more walking before you halt for a satisfying lunch. And we all know Italians never disappoint when it comes to food. After leaving your lunch spot, enjoy yourself with the view and take deep breaths in the open, pollution-free air. According to the Internal Air Index website, Cinque Terre is one of the most oxygen-rich zones in the entire world. Afterward, hike for a bit longer until you feel the need for an afternoon espresso. We really hope viewers put this Italian destination in their travel list. Up next, Bright Angel Trail, Grand Canyon, USA. As you look over the Grand Canyon rim, you'll notice a hiking trail wiggling its way down the cliffside across a vast plain and then falling off again towards River Colorado. There, what you'll be seeing is the world-renowned Trail of Bright Angel. The trail stretches about 20 kilometers or 10.6 miles, but ascends up to 1,500 meters or 5,200 feet. The trail extends from the South Canyon's edge to the water's edge at the Bright Angel Campground and Phantom Ranch. The sceneries along the track are a rare sight, especially the ones across and down the canyon. They're a spectacular sight to witness, and many individuals trek parts of the trail as a daylight hike. If you're planning to include a tour of the park in your hike, then we have a word of caution for you, as the Park Service advises hikers to go no further than Indian Springs due to bloodthirsty animals out there. Bright Angel Trail is an exceptionally well-maintained track and is easy to follow. Hikers should just watch out for recurring mule trains that'll be sharing the pathway with you. Reservations for the Phantom Ranch Lodge and the campground must be requested 3 days well in advance. Next up, Tasmania, Australia. Of all of the amazing hikes in Australia, the Three Capes track is the most otherworldly, and it's located on the Tasman Peninsula. Hikers will have to take a 1-hour, 30-minute drive from the state capital of Hobart to reach the site. The journey starts with a 30-minute yacht ride from Port Arthur Historic Site, the dreadful location that once housed the most sinister criminals from the British Empire due to the 1840s penal colony. Hikers will then have to cross Mangan Bay with the help of a custom-made speedboat, which is well designed to endure the crashing tides of the Southern Ocean. Once trekkers cross this area, they'll enter enter the home of dolphins, fur seals, and nomadic whales to Denman's Cove. Once you cross Denman's Cove, then hikers will be faced with a real challenge. They'll face the Y-shaped track breezes through coastal heath. Then they'll have to hike on foot until the cut stone paths, from where they'll finally cross the top of the 1,000-foot elevated peaks of Y and Cape's Pillar, both of which plunge directly into the sea. There, hikers can also rest on 4 national park huts, all of which include deck chairs, board games, memory foam beds, yoga mats, and a shared kitchen. If you'd prefer a fully solo option, the latest Three Capes Lodge Walk welcomes round-trip transfers from Hobart, meals, and exclusive lodge accommodation. A word of caution from us: don't wander attempting to figure out where the third cape is. The last 25-mile link to Cape Raoul has yet to be finished. And now, Kilimanjaro, Tanzania. Located on the continent of Africa, Kilimanjaro is one of the most iconic sites in all of Africa, and the hike to the top is on many people's to-do list. In fact, around 40,000 people endure this hike every year. Your chances of finishing the trek are pretty good, but it also depends on which route you take. The sight from the top across the surrounding terrain is breathtaking, and the site is famous for its sunrise hike. People from all over Africa and other countries try to stay overnight to witness the glorifying sunrise. Most hikers also try to summit before sunrise. The trek up to the top and back down normally takes up to 6 or 7 days. Yeah, you heard that right. But the duration required to complete this hike can also change depending on your acclimatization rate and level of fitness. Viewers should not stress themselves with thoughts of getting robbed along the way, as the government has promised to provide a 24/7 rescue helpline along the pathway, and the trek also gets patrolled by the local police officers throughout the dark hours of the night. After the assurance of security, this hike sounds like a wonderful adventure that should not be missed. And now finally, Angel's Landing, Zion National Park, USA. The narrow ledges of the dizzying peaks of Angel's Landing in Zion National Park make this a trail for only the most fearless and daring hikers. Although the hike is not lengthy and ranges roughly around 10 kilometers or 7 miles round trip, or incredibly tough with an elevation boost of approximately 450 meters, around 1,600 feet, depending on which route you hop on. Completing this stroll is more of a mental battle than anything else. The final spell to the lookout is on a lengthy, slim spine of rock, and once you cross this point, you gain a quarter of the total elevation of the whole hike. One of the iconic hiking sites along the national park is the Step of Faith, an exceptionally narrow passage of the track with enormous and long vertical drop-offs on either side. The trail is mostly busy on the weekends, and the best time to go on a hike is either in fall or spring. Temperatures are more moderate in these months, and if you're planning to hike in this exceptionally beautiful location, then we recommend you visit on any weekday when the crowd is thinner. That's a wrap for this video. Which of these places would you like to visit for a hike? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.